Good morning, welcome to a new market update, and as discussed today we're going to talk about Chainlink, as Chainlink is still doing really well, making all-time highs, so we have to watch what's happening next on this pair. We're going to discuss the USDT and the Bitcoin pair and a project that I'm still heavily interested in. But before that, subscribe to the channel. You can do that here beneath. That's helping me a lot to grow this channel to a bigger audience, so we can share content with all of you. So Chainlink, already one of the biggest performers in the previous years and also a very big performer currently, as we can see that we've hit $35. This is not the official Chainlink USD chart on TradingView. It's calculated by TradingView through the Bitcoin pair, but it's good to use it. Often it gives you additional price information as well, as with some pairs there's not too much of those information in the real pair, that you can use a different one. What do we see on Chainlink? And we're just going through this entire chart. We can see support resistance flip back in the day in the beginning of this year, which was still around 12 bucks. Then another support resistance flip, actually flipped this previous high here, and just continuation. And as we can see, the critical level to hold Chainlink is this area around $26 to $28. Very important level to hold. If that is lost, I'm going to look way deeper. Might be looking at 20 bucks, but more importantly, I'm going to look around 18. So the $26 is a critical level for Chainlink to hold. That is currently holding. As we can see that the lower time frame gave a very fast wick in that support zone. So we saw a corrective move yesterday on altcoins, which got immediately bought up. And we can see continued strength on Chainlink. So if we use the previous chart that I had, we can see that we defined the Fibonacci levels by the previous impulse wave. So this move, we started to use the Fibonacci Extension tool, came to a target zone of 29, and the second zone is the area around 37, which we have hit and immediately flipped south. So using the Fibonacci Extension tool is a very important tool to use, as it can define target points for yourself when a price or an asset is in price discovery. So what's next? Given that we have just anticipated such a corrective move, we can start using the previous high and the previous low to define new targets. And I'll just erase these two a little for now. What we can construct is that if we made the bottom, the previous low is the new low we can use for Fibonacci's for an extension. You can also use the entire cycle, but I'm going to just target next zones. As we can see, if we break the previous high, next zone is the area around 43 bucks. Second zone is the area around 53 bucks. Doesn't seem unlikely for me to reach those numbers, given the fact that Chainlink against Bitcoin is just fulfilling the scenario that I've written down here. So we still have strength to expect from Chainlink in the Bitcoin pair. We did see this breakout. We did see a small bullish divergence. We saw a run up towards the resistance zone, which could not break through, after which we test support again, also given, and now we're just making this accumulation period, in which once we break out of this accumulation range and start accelerating heavily, there is a very likely chance we're going to see a continuation towards the region of 114k, but also a test of this high. If we get such a rally, we already run with like 75% in the Bitcoin pair and 150% if we reach the second target, which means that if Bitcoin against USDT remains the same price as it is right now, Chainlink could crush towards almost 100 bucks. So using both pairs is very important, so you can see that the current strength is just minimal and the actual strength on altcoins will still continue to go, in which that will be at a later stage this year, probably during the summer, when altcoins will start to take off heavily. So you still want to start accumulating your positions to be ready for that big move. I've been taking partial profits. I've been using that partial profits to accumulate in the recent dip, as I had limit orders. If you want to know more information about that, check out the website beneath in the description. I share my entire strategy with the group. But you can see in this chart that Chainlink is just waking up and there's still much more to come. So making those targets, as we just discussed, towards 53, towards 43 and 53, that is doable. Those two targets are doable as long as Chainlink is holding this support zone around 26. Another one that I'm heavily watching is this coin called DIA, which is also an oracle, but the valuation is relatively small compared to Chainlink. Chainlink is around 15 billion, DIA is about like 60-70 million, through which the valuation of DIA, and there is still no bull cycle yet on DIA, so there's still much upside to gain for this one. To even get to 10% of Chainlink would already grant almost a 20x from here. What do we see? The same critical level to hold for DIA is this zone between 210 to 235. I've marked that level, and you should not be focusing on the time frame that I put here. It's just about levels. So I use this area here for the critical price action to look for, and we can see that we've had a beautiful test here through which I got some accumulation going on. Second, what are the target zones to look for? Also using Fibonacci Extension, the first targets are found at $4.18 and $5.35. Then if we look at lower time frames, we can see, okay, what's the crucial area to hold right now? That is this zone around $3. If this is going to hold, continuation is likely. If we lose that zone, we're going to look at this area here again. Then finally, the DIA against Bitcoin pair. We have been discussing this a little, but the point here is that it's still in an accumulation phase. We can see that we are still making lower highs, lower lows, and the critical area to break is still not breaking. If that breaks, and we can still move sideways, it starts to accumulate or accelerate relatively fast, through which I'm anticipating a further breakout towards 1500 to 1800, or maybe even 25 to 2900. That would grant a rally of DIA towards $5 to $10, but given that the Bitcoin pair is still just accumulating, I'm assuming that we're going to see way more strength in the altcoins to come. If DIA does not make this breaker and retests here, I'm definitely going to buy some more, as that would grant another entry around $2.50. Short update, I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow with a new one, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.